Hey, it's Jay, the Snazzy Diva. Welcome to my world. From health and fitness, tackling my issues and yours, and of course, accessorizing with the flyest fashion jewelry around from snazzydiva.com. Here, everyone is beautiful beyond measure. Welcome to the world of Snazzy Diva. Hey guys, it's J. May, aka the Snazzy Diva, coming with you with a very, very long overdue check-in with my weight loss journey, or post-surgery, whatever you want to call it. It's been about, has it been 2 months since my last? Yeah, it's been about 2 months, I think, or maybe a little bit longer since my last video. So there is a lot to catch up on, and I like to keep everything moving. I don't want you to be stuck with just listening to me ramble, but there's a lot that I want to share too. I don't exactly remember exactly where I was the last video. I think I could have been like 240-ish or something like that. So this is definitely a praise report event, because I am coming from 270, starting at 270. May 13th of 2015 was the day of my procedure, and today is October 10th, 2015, also my late granny's birthday, so I have to send birthday wishes to her. But I am at 195. Yeah, shawty. I am down 2 sizes, 2 full sizes since I've had the surgery. When I started, I was 18, 8-pound stomping towards a 20. I probably should have been in a 20, but I was squeezing myself into an 18. And I am officially a solid 14, kind of teetering towards a 12. So that is always awesome. That's what you have the procedure for, is to lose weight. So to that. Okay, so let me get into the other stuff, because when you have the surgery, particularly initially, you're going to lose weight. There's no way for you not to lose weight. You're going to lose weight. Excuse me, the rate at which you lose weight, that may vary, but you're going to lose weight. So that's not really a revelation. What I want to talk to you about is kind of the things that happen along the way. Yeah, I'm still doing the protein drinks. The diet still is a struggle at times. Have I deviated from the diet before? Yes. Did I pay for it? Yes and no. I still dump. I dump. Not because of deviating from the diet, because I really don't do that. I really try to stick to it. But I dump sometimes if I take one bite too many, if I don't chew thoroughly enough, if I swallow too much at one time, if my stomach just doesn't like what I decided to try to eat that day, I may dump. I also still froth. It doesn't really impede my life. I have pretty much mastered listening to my body. So when my body says, okay, we're full, we're satisfied, you might want to stop, then yeah, I'm pretty good at listening to that. That still gets difficult. Like when you're in a restaurant, or you have some really good food, and it's like, man, especially when food is fresh, man, you like, taste bud wise, mentally, you're like, I still want more, but you're not hungry. And I think that's what the problem we have as a society. We don't eat for satisfaction. We don't eat to survive. We eat kind of in a gluttonous way. And so this procedure is a tool to help you understand you're done. You've had enough. So I digress on that. So I think I may have shared in the last video, but if I didn't, I'll share it now. There have been so many emotional and social changes that I have experienced since even before having this procedure. Before having the procedure, just in preparation for it, I went through a lot emotionally. I had great support system and family, most friends. But I can be 100% honest. This procedure is life altering in so many ways. And one of the ways, or one thing that I have learned, I should say, is that when you are making major life changes, not everybody that you thought was in your corner, not everybody you thought was your ride or die, not everybody you thought was your friend, your support system, your whatever you called them, is going to stay in that place. My sister told me today, she said, you thank God. You thank God for the revelations. You thank God for the progress. You thank God for feeling better about yourself. But you also thank God for revealing to you people who really just had no business being in your life. But for whatever reason, you couldn't or wouldn't see that truth or that reality. I have said many times throughout this process that this was a beginning for me. This was a beginning for a new chapter and a new phase in my life. And everyone is in your life for a reason or a season. You have to be able to acknowledge when that season has passed. Painfully, that season has passed for a couple of people in my life. No, I didn't get brand new. No, I didn't get the big head, none of that, because I'm having my own personal struggles as I walk through this journey. But yeah, it just is what it is. The other thing is, going into the surgery, it is highly recommended that you get counseling. I've said before in previous videos, I didn't get counseling because I self-paid. So because I self-paid, it wasn't required. Typically, counseling is not necessarily going to be required by a surgeon. The counseling is going to be required by your insurance. Well, as a state of Georgia employee, as a public school educator, it's not covered. Bariatric surgery, I can't talk today. Bariatric surgery of any type is not covered by our state health benefit plan. So I had to pay out of pocket, and I've talked about that in the past. So I was not necessarily held to those same standards as far as, I'm sorry, my nose is really itching, as far as having to do counseling. When I was going through the process leading up to the surgery, I had a really good friend, or a friend of a friend, who had the surgery 2 or 3 years prior, and she was talking to me about how not only is counseling good, but marriage counseling is good, because the rate of divorce for people who have had, when one or both partners have had this surgery, is higher. And I got nervous when she told me that and some of the reasons why. So I, had a conversation with my husband, and I was like, honey, do you think we need to go and have counseling? And he was like, Jay, I told you already, you don't have to have the surgery. I love you the way you are. So it is what it is. We're fine. Okay, I'll eat that. Thanks. I still had some unnerving, just because as a counselor, I know, the benefits of counseling, but as a counselor, I know the benefits of counseling, but okay, he wasn't really willing to go. Fine. I don't think I was mentally prepared for what was going to happen when this weight really came off. I knew I was going to get smaller. That was the point. But it has come off in such a drastic way. And some people, like, I've lost 75 pounds, and let me see. Today's 10th, 12. Tuesday will make 5 months since I've had this surgery. 75 pounds in 5 months. I have had people look at me and not recognize me. So much has changed. I only have one neck. Imagine that. In one chin. People are saying they see the resemblance between me and my older sister and my mother. My older sister is very tall and very lean, and I'm kind of short, and I've always been full figured. I've always, been the shapely one, or the thicker one, if you want to call it. And then I became the fat one, but I digress. The reaction is really different. And I know I'm jumping all over the place, but speaking of reaction, that's a double-edged sword of emotion, because people will see me and go, Jay, oh my God, you look amazing, girl. You have really lost weight. What did you do? And you look so good. And yes, it's flattering and it feels good. And you're like, thank you. I've been working on it. Or, yeah, I had surgery back in May. I feel really good and blah, blah, blah. But in the back of your mind, well, like, damn, what did you think of me before? Like, I don't even think people realize how they sound when they say some of the things they say. It's kind of like when someone goes to a funeral and they get back to work or they get back wherever, people say, oh, how was the funeral? And you're like, what the hell? Do you know that fool had the nerve to still be dead? Ain't there something? Like, that's a stupid question. So sometimes people say stuff and it's kind of weird. Like, people will say, well, you weren't that big to me. Like, I didn't think you needed the surgery. I mean, like, you were big, but you weren't that big. Or, I thought you looked okay. I mean, but you were always pretty for a big girl. Really? Really? So, in your head, you were thinking, this poor child, at least she's not waddling yet. Like, I mean, really? Is that what you thought? What did you really think, actually? That's the question that's come to my mind. What were you really thinking? Recently, I saw a video of myself, and I cried. I saw a video of myself like a couple of years ago, and I had no idea that I was that big. And there was someone in the room who had just met me, and they were watching the same video at the same time, and they were like, oh, who's the lady in the video? And another person in the room was like, that's Jay. And they were like, no, really, who's the lady in the video? That's weird. So while you're celebrating when you stand in the mirror and it's like, uh-oh, look at that. Oh, the first time you put on something, or something that you couldn't have worn, that was too small, that was whatever, and then you put it on and it fits. Or that time after when you put it on and it's now too big and you surpass even those goals. That's all well and good, but there are some, it's an ego trip. Like I said before, it's a mind F of epic proportion. Back to the relationship thing. If you are in a relationship, if you are married or whatever your situation may be, everybody's different, okay? I don't have a jealous relationship. My husband is not a jealous man. He is an awesome husband and an awesome father. But I am smaller now than I was even before we got married. And so there are days when he's like, wow, I don't even, like, you do look really different. I sent him a picture last night. I went to an event and he wasn't home when I got dressed. He was out with the children. And so I sent him a picture while I was out. And it took him aback because he didn't even recognize me initially. Which it wasn't necessarily a bad thing. I'm going to post the picture. But it's weird. And so I've come to realize that, and he'll never say it, and I can say this on here because he's never going to watch this video. He doesn't watch the videos. But I've come to realize that it's my job to let him know that whatever the statistics are, I'm not going anywhere. My love for him is unconditional and surpasses weight, surpasses money, surpasses any other things that can come up. My love is forever. My love is infinite. But I realize that because men are prideful and because they're not going to say, and he may not be feeling this way, but this is just something that I know can happen. Let me put it that way. It's possible. It's my job to convey verbally and demonstrate where my loyalty, where my commitment is, and that it is unwavering and that it has not faltered in any way, shape, or form. But yeah, okay, there are days I'm feeling myself, not to the point of arrogance or anything like that, but yeah, it feels good to put on things that you otherwise before could only imagine, and it feels good to look in the mirror and be like, damn, okay. It's also weird to let go of some of your crutches. For example, shopping is fun and frustrating. Trying to figure out your size is crazy. Crazy. But on the flip side, then you have to figure out new stores. Because like before, Ashley Stewart, now I'm not a Lane Bryant person. I've never been a Lane Bryant person. But the specialty shops, like the Fashion to Figures, or, you know, even when I go to Ross, I automatically go to Women's World or whatever. And I got all these, they used to be on everybody's mailing list, everybody's email list for all the plus size specialty stores, because I was a plus size girl. Yeah, can't go there. Not really. That's weird. And then realizing you can go to the other stores that have quote unquote regular sizes, whatever the hell that means. Because I don't think plus size is irregular. I think plus size women are real women. And I'm a 14 going into a 12 and I'm still considered plus size. But because we're a society of labels. But I digress. Again. That's weird. So I'm saying all of that to say, before you walk into this process, make sure that you are mentally and spiritually whole yourself. Make sure that your relationship or ships are solid and are whole. Because this affects not just you, it affects everyone in your life. It affects everyone around you. I had no idea how much my weight impacted my sister and my mother. And the pressure, or the pressure they felt, even in times of just going shopping with me, because I would get so depressed because I couldn't go the places they could go and I couldn't wear the things that they could wear. And so I would get bored, and then, you know, my comfort was to eat. And that's been weird. That's been weird. Knowing the worry they had for me and my health, and how I would get so defensive and feel some kind of way all the time. I didn't realize the effects that it had. But when I see pictures and videos of me from the past, and I'm looking at myself, and I'm like, wow, was that me? That couldn't have been me. It makes me wonder, what did they see? And what were they thinking? Was it pity? Was I hurting them? Were they hurt because I was hurting myself? Because I wasn't taking better care of myself? All those questions come up. It's a lot. I know I've said this before. Guys, it's a lot. It's not a bad a lot. If I woke up tomorrow and God forbid I'm 270 pounds again, and someone said, Jay, it was all a dream. You're starting this process over from scratch. Your surgery is scheduled for October 13th instead of May 13th, but you got to go through it all over again. I would write the check and say, sign me up. I'm ready. Understanding that this is not just about losing weight. Whatever your emotional ish is going into this is still there. Whatever your emotional or psychological baggage is going into this, it's still going to be there afterwards. It doesn't go away. You have to deal with your own junk, period. And that's kind of the bottom line. That's kind of it. I thank all of you for your great comments and support and some of the feedback I've gotten. I know every time I do a video, I'm like, I'm really going to start doing better with advertising for Snazzy, but Snazzy has picked up, and I have been working so hard with Snazzy, which for those of you who don't know, Snazzy is my fashion jewelry line, and you can go to www.snazzydiva.com for all of your wonderful accessories and fashion jewelry needs. I love fashion. I love accessorizing. I love when women feel good about themselves and feel good when they look good. And I just do not believe that a sister has to go broke just to feel good about herself and to look good. My phone's buzzing. So, that's why I started my company. Company's been in existence for a few years now. And yes, what I have on now, that was loud. Let me see if I can show you this piece that is on Snazzy now. Oh, let me give you a full real quick. I can give you a full body really quick. So the shirt I have on is kind of one of those, you know, we're doing all the free flow, just bumming around. It's a Saturday, but here's where I am. The bra roll is actually just about gone. But these are some skinny 14s, which, honey, before the surgery, skinny was not even an option for me. But that's my update as of October 10th, 2015. I am definitely going to do better about keeping up and letting you guys know where I am and what's going on. And please send me any questions or comments that you may have, or things that you want me to address or talk about in the videos. As always, I wish you all of God's blessings, peace, and love, and I will talk to you next time.